All right, so finally, ranked is coming to Marathon. So I want to find out more about rank, and I think this article here fully explains how ranked works in Marathon. Because how does ranked mode work in an extraction shooter? So let's go into it, kind of figure it out together here. Put your survival skills to the test, climb the competitive ladder, and prove you're a top runner in Tau Ceti in ranked mode. Your first chance to play ranked is this weekend, March 21st. That is 2 days from tonight, where I'm recording this. Ranked mode is in beta for season 1, and as a feature that's still in development, we're looking for substantial feedback from you to continue shaping ranked mode into the best version it can be. Okay, so for season 1 it's going to be complete beta, so we're going to get a more, I guess, enhanced, improved version of it, how it works, probably in season 2 or 3. Maybe season 2 kind of working through some kinks, but maybe it'll be all set for season 2. I don't know. Either way, it's exciting to even have it this early on, so I'm looking forward to it. So, overview. Ranked is designed to test everything you've learned in Marathon, including looting, PvP success, and strategic risk taking. You'll earn score based on your performance on a run, with your score target determined by a new item, the Holo Tag. And they'll explain that below. You'll earn ranked points RP by meeting your score target in a run. Over time, you climb through 6 ranks. You got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and pinnacle. Damn, that's a lot of ranks, to be honest. All right. With 3 tiers each, of course, at the end of each season, you'll secure rewards based on the highest rank you've earned during the season. That's kind of cool. So at the end of the season, you'll get some loot or good loot, depending how we did. Even if your final standing is lower, we don't want the fear of losing rewards to stop you from playing. So if you get to pinnacle and you get brought back down to like platinum, for example, you'll still get pinnacle loot at the end of the season. So that's good. Season 1's rewards will include pinnacle, gun style. Well, you get a title. That's kind of cool. That's actually really huge. I want to get a title. I'm gonna go for pinnacle season 1 and see if I can get a title. Gun style. I get a title for gold. Dang. Okay, I really have to hit pinnacle. I don't know where the titles will appear because no one has titles yet that I'm aware of. Well, I haven't seen anyone with a title, so I don't know how prominent a title is in this game yet. But I want a title. We'll share the full details in these rewards and how to secure them as the season progresses. Additionally, each time you earn a new rank each season, you'll get a loot package, which contains gear. And here's some of the loot you get. Some gold, some purple packages, basically, for reaching ranks. That's fine. Ranked availability. You must be runner level 25 to queue for ranked. That makes sense. We don't want newbies in there. Ranked opens up for play on the weekends. Okay, so because it is only going to be on the weekends, it's like something you look forward to play on the weekends. This is extremely similar to when we played Trials of Osiris or Trials of the Nine and Destiny. And that was like for me personally, that was like the most exciting time of the game. So I'm really looking forward to playing ranked on the weekend. Like that's something you loot and play casual during the week. You bring your loot in for the weekend and enjoy and play high stakes ranked, basically. With each weekend featuring a different planet-side zone, perimeter, dire mush, or outpost. The first weekend will be on perimeter. It's just like Trials. They rotate, they keep the same map the whole weekend, and then you rotate out. I love that. It's perfect. All crew sizes will be matched together for rank, so bring friends to help or go as a lone wolf to test your skills against opposing crews. Okay, so you can go in solos, what I understand. Solos for solos only. Okay. They also have duos, so at least they have a temporary thing right now going on for duos. Duos is in beta right now for 2 weeks. I did play 1 round of duos. It's pretty fun. There's more teams, obviously, so the people are kind of spawning closer together. So it's more action really fast. But they're testing it out for 2 weeks, and then I don't know when they're actually going to implement the duos. But I imagine ranked is going to be solos, duos, and trios at some point if the whole duo thing is a success, which I imagine it would be. But I guess we'll find out. Bet on yourself, choose your stakes. So when you queue for rank, you have 2 options, low stakes and high stakes. These are separate matchmaking pools with different requirements for entry. Okay, different matchmaking pools entirely. So you have low stakes queue, which is also ranked. You have to come in with 3,000 gear ante to even participate, which is good. So you don't, when you play ranked, you actually get some decent gear at least. Your minimum holo tag tier has to be bronze, so you have to have a holo tag of bronze to go into it. Then you have high stakes queue, which is called ranked plus, which is, oh my gosh, okay, that is high stakes. Okay, so you have to come in with 10k gear ante. That's decent, that's pretty good loot. And then the holo tag tier has to be a minimum of platinum. So that's the stuff I'm going to be looking forward to at some point. Note that the first weekend of ranked will only have low stakes queue available to give people a chance to start climbing the ladder and prepare for high stakes. That makes sense. You got to separate out those people. Let's break down gear ante holo tags. All right, so gear ante. Gear ante is a minimum requirement on your equipped gear's value in credits. For reference, 3,000 gear ante is about the equivalent of a set of enhanced green gear with a few blue pieces or deluxe. Okay, that's pretty nice. Nice and easy. The 10,000 gear ante is about the equivalent of a set of all blue gear with a few purple gear. Okay, that makes perfectly reasonable sense there. Having a gear ante ensures everyone in your match is putting a minimum amount on the line to compete. No being matched with a teammate going on a naked knife run or downing enemy runners with just sponsored kits. That's awesome because it's really disappointing taking down multiple squads in a run and everyone's just got sponsored kits. So that's good. Holo tags. So in addition to the gear ante, you must bring one holo tag in your backpack to queue for ranked. You can purchase holo tags using credits in the armory. So you have to buy holo tags, okay. Or you defeat an enemy runner and exfil with their holo tag. Makes sense. There are 6 tiers of holo tags: bronze, silver, and gold. Low stakes, and platinum, diamond, and pinnacle, high stakes. You can purchase up to your current rank of holo tag tier in the armory. Okay, so if you're gold, you can only buy up to gold in the armory. You can't buy a platinum holo tag. They literally explain that in the next line. Gotcha. How does scoring work? TLDR. You have a score target set by your team's holo tag values. Loot valuable items to get score. Once you reach your score target, exfil to get rated points. So from what I understand, let's say you have a bronze, a silver, and a gold on your team. Each one has a certain amount of target score, and that gets combined all together, and you have like a group score, like targets you're trying to get in your ranked match, and you have to hit that target to rank up and exfil, as far as I understand. If you exfil before you hit your target, you don't get rated points. If you die, you lose rated points based on your team's holo tag values, so it's pretty brutal. High risk, high reward ranked. It's kind of interesting. You can get bonus rated points, aka over performance capacity, by looting enemy players' holo tags or collecting tag chips from bots and map events. At the highest level, ranked points you earn are based on the value of your loot your crew collects and exfils with on your run. When your loot meter fills up, it's time to exfil. Okay, good to know. So we're going to have a loot meter somewhere on the screen. That's kind of nice. Good to know. Want to go deeper? Buckle up. The holo tag you bring to the match sets 2 important values for your run: a score target and a loss penalty. The credit value of loot you find counts towards your crew score, excluding certain items like ammo and consumables. When your crew reaches its score target, any additional loot does not count. Unless you loot enemy holo tags that grant you overperformance capacity and you allow you to earn over your initial score target. So here's a complete breakdown. Yeah, so basically your holo tag is combined with your team. That was what I just said earlier. Starting loadouts don't count towards your score target. I mean, this is explaining the same shit over and over. Over performance capacity, how much loot over that score target, you earn bonus points. Makes sense? You only lose RP if you fail to exfil. Oh, okay. So if you go into a ranked match and you don't hit your target, but you still exfil, you don't lose points. You only lose if you die. So that is nice if you can't make it, honestly. Holotags persist after exfil. That's good. Here's some math. Gotcha. You can find the lootable tag chips during a ranked match by defeating bots. Tag chips count as valuable loot towards your score target. And they auto sell. So yeah, there's a huge, oh my god, that's crazy. So for like Pinnacle, for example, you need 20,000 score target. You have to find 20,000. If there's 3 of you at Pinnacle, you need to get 60,000 credit value altogether. That's insane. I wonder what that even looks like. guess we'll find out the further you climb and you like optimize and all that. But that's cool. The better you and your team's holotags, the more ranked points you earn from a run. Okay. The higher tier holotags require you to exfil with more loot to reap the benefits, or higher loss penalty if you die. But if you only bring in lower tier holotags, you'll hit your score cap more quickly and have less potential upside per run. Okay. Or in professional terms, you need to risk it for the biscuit. That makes sense. It's oh man, it's gonna be like you literally this entire thing is gonna be looting all week, preparing and getting your kits ready, going into ranked, bringing your best shit, high risk, high reward, and probably some nights, some weekends you're gonna lose all your shit. It's gonna feel awful, and then some days you're gonna get like the best loot and it's gonna feel great. I'm just so curious to see how that experience is gonna be like, but I guess we'll see soon. Your first chance to play ranked starts on Saturday. Perimeter, low stakes. It's in beta for season 1. We'll be watching closely for your feedback. Da 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 da. Good luck in your first ranked runs. Oh man, okay. That's pretty much all the details there. I'm gonna look at the Discord here, see if there's anything important. Something we'll go over at the end, it looks like, because they're just going over both things. Alright, that's pretty much ranked. Makes sense. You basically get a holotag. You go in with your teammates. You each have holotags, different ranks potentially. You have a score target. You go out there, you loot, hit your target, exfil. You get points if you exfil with your target. If you exfil not hitting your target, you don't lose anything. If you die, then you lose points. So it's pretty basic, honestly. And then you have that basic gear ante coming in. So this is the marathon ship, or the Cryo Archive is what they're calling it. So let's go into how this works as well, because this is also coming out, I think, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it says right here, March 20th. That's tomorrow. So that's really exciting. This has been hyped up for a while. So it says, after poring over terminals, chasing coordinates, and collectively galaxy braining your way through our latest ARG, you've made your way to the doorstep of the marathon. Before you step aboard the derelict vessel, an unknown AI reaches out to all runners who believe they can survive the journey. Drop by our official Discord to correspond with Null Transmit, a signal from across the stars. But don't let this presence distract you from the task at hand. Countdown to Cryo Archive has begun. You've got less than a day to prepare yourself to take on Endgame Zone aboard the marathon. So this is Endgame now. Like, it kind of feels like it. I've been waiting for like more. So this is the true end game of Marathon, which is exciting. The Marathon ship left Mars for Tau Ceti solar system in 2472. It arrived 300 years later than Silence. Contact with 30,000 colonists who set out to make a new home on an alien world was lost. Decades later, the Marathon ship still hangs abandoned in orbit, a frozen snapshot of the past promising valuable resources and information for anyone brave enough to make the trek and survive. The Cryo Archive is the first deck of the Marathon, where you'll find the labyrinth of cryopods, medical bays, and storage wings where colonists once ease into and out of deep sleep on their journey across the stars. Okay. They're probably going to come out with like different maps of the different decks and levels of the Marathon ship, because the ship is massive, supposedly. But this is like the first deck where we're starting off. Few notes before you dive in. Intensity. Crank to the top. Cryo Archive is a pinnacle challenge and will take many runs to learn and master. Okay, so it sounds intense. Playstyle. Think raid-style puzzle solving and layered mechanics wrapped around brutal extraction stakes. It's almost gonna be like a raid with players. This is gonna be crazy. Design a labyrinth layout where tight corridors give way to massive open spaces, pitting enemy crews against each other to unseal frozen vaults. Hold on. So it's a puzzle layout, labyrinth layout, like a dungeon. Tight corridors to give way to massive open spaces. And then the open spaces pit enemy crews against each other to unseal the frozen vaults. It's really going to be like designed to push people to play against each other. So it sounds really PvP heavy, to be honest. But I guess we won't know until we go there. All right, so how do you get on the ship? The Cryo Archive opens up for play on the weekends. So you can't play during the weekdays. This is also only on the weekends, like ranked. So that's interesting. So if end game extraction shooter and ranked extraction shooter only on the weekend, so you have to like choose what you want to do. I guess that's interesting. I kind of wish that at least a Cryo Archive was available all the time and ranked was only on the weekends, or vice versa. Just to have one of these two during the week, so it's just not like waiting to do anything end game all week. That's kind of disappointing, honestly, but hopefully they'll change that in the future. I feel like other people might complain about that. It's designed to be taken on by a team of runners, so you'll need a crew of 3. Okay, it's designed for 3. You don't want to go by yourself. Queue up solo with a match. So, okay, yeah, you really want to go in a team of 3. I would not recommend solo if they're designing it like that. Okay, so how do you get to the Cryo Archive? You need to be at least level 25, just like ranked. Except here, you also need all 6 factions unlocked. So you have to do those liaison contracts from Cyber Acme. Unlock all of those contracts, or factions, I mean. I also have that done. The minimum loadout value is 5,000 credits. Okay, so this is even more than the low stakes ranked at 3,000. So interesting. I feel like this is going to be more intense than ranked this weekend, honestly. It seems like. If you meet these requirements, you'll also be eligible for a one-time Cryo Archive sponsored kit from the Armory. Okay, getting started with that. This is a bundle of blue tier gear specifically tuned to get you through an early Cryo Archive run without having to risk your favorite items on an attempt number 1. Okay, that's actually great. I'm going to use that with my team. Let's see. Security clearance. Earn your way through. Cryo Archive runs on security clearance, a progression you build up over the course of a single run by interacting with the ship's systems and surviving long enough to leverage them. Systems in Cryo Archive, including doors, supply rooms, and exfils, are locked behind specific security clearance levels. The more important the system, the higher the clearance you need to use it. Okay, so you kind of have to figure it out as you go. Use these puzzle mechanics, clear rooms, clear players, get more clearance. The more clearance you get, the deeper you get to the archive, essentially. Okay, so Vaults of the Marathon. Cryo Archive is threaded with 7 vaults. These heavily secured rooms have some of the most lucrative loot in the game, some of which you can't find anywhere else. Okay, that's exciting. I want to get in the vault. To access each vault, you'll need to complete its unique entry challenge or access requirements. Each vault also requires a specific vault key for entry. You can find vault keys on the planet-side zones. I think I have one for like C3 or 4 or something like that. With higher risk and investment activities being more likely to yield vault keys. You can also find vault keys on the ship itself. Okay, that's good. Both within locked vaults and by downing enemy runner crews and stealing their goods for yourself. Once you're inside of vaults, you'll work through tense puzzle interactions and race against other crews who know exactly how valuable these rooms are. Okay, you're like speed running these puzzles. I don't know how I feel about that, but across a set of vaults, you will chase high tier containers loaded with valuables, materials, help, and equipment, unique gold weapons stored in special weapon lockers. That's nice. A path toward assembling a what? That leads deeper into the marathon secrets and towards. Okay, I think that has to do with the compilers, what I keep hearing people call it. I think that has to do with that. Whatever that is. Getting off the ship. Exfils on Cryo Archive are less reliable and follow different rules than the planet-side zones. You'll need to learn how to exfils work to secure. They're not even telling us. We got to figure out while we're there. That's stressful. Contracts in the cold plus rewards. If you like structure with your suffering, Cryo Archive contracts are there for you. Here's how they work. When Cryo Archive is available, a pool of 7 unique Cryo contracts appear in Cyber Acme. Okay. You and your crew can re-roll which contract is active, so you're all working towards the same objective during a run. Completing a contract removes it from your pool for that week. When Cryo Archive returns next week, in progress resets and the full slate returns. Okay, so you basically, how many are there? 7. So you can only do 7 contracts for the week, and then it gets reset whenever next weekend comes around. The contracts give you a random high rarity item, locked key, vault key, material. So you want to do the contracts, really. There are also unique codex rewards you can earn for you in Cryo Archive progress, including a style skin for all 6 runner shells. Cool. Let's see. When a timer hits 0. Okay. A few reminders before you embark your next journey in the stars. Prepare your shells. Okay, it's a marathon, first endgame zone, high intensity raid style PvP activity built around security systems, vault chases, and contested exfils. Holy shit. Dang, okay. Contested exfils. Sounds intense. You will need runner, security clearance, vault keys, okay. Only open the weekends. There are more secrets waiting for you in the frozen halls of the marathon. You have not seen every locked room, hacked every terminal, or met every presence that is watching from somewhere deep in the ship's. Oh, dang. Okay, so what that kind of tells me is that later on, when they release more decks of the marathon ship, it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. This is just like the entry to the ship. So cool. I went on the Discord because the Discord also has some extra information that isn't on the blog post as well. So there's something extra here, real quick. We're the Cryo and Ranked are coming. We're excited to see players battle over Tau Ceti. Let's see if I'm trying to skim through here and see if there's anything important. So they have 3 main points preparing. We acknowledge that players will lose a lot of gear on Cryo and Ranked because it is intended to challenge you to your limits. As a result of that, it's important that Cryo and Ranked feel like an event you can schedule towards, grind gear up to do, etc. The loop of spend time grinding gear to spend it on Cryo or Ranked is reflected in this choice as a weekly cycle. Yeah, I just I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it only being on the weekend for both. That's something I just don't know how I feel about that. Maybe Ranked should always be available or Cryo only on the weekend. I don't know. I don't know what they do, but it kind of makes the week days just like this boring grind. That's nothing special without, having the best things both being on the weekend. I don't know. Economy talk. We have some great rewards on Cryo that kind of break the bank when it comes to economy and power gain. If we were to look at having it open all the time, we probably have to adjust how frequently you can earn these rewards so they don't flood the game with amazing loot all of a sudden. Okay, that also kind of makes sense I guess the economy would mess things up, but still, I don't know. Maybe it's a balance. Logistics time, Cryo and Rank both have entry requirements, guarantee, yada yada. This inherently makes the amount of people in that queue at any time unpredictable. Both of these experiences also need a consistent flow of players in the queue to make sure matches are full to retain the challenge. To reduce the match times and allow players to find matches quicker, making it a scheduled event means more players will show up during that window and feed the queue pool better. That is true, so that does make sense. We also acknowledge that there are likely some who cannot participate on the weekend or are excited about the experience and want to no life it for weeks, and we appreciate that. We be looking into what we can do to retain these considerations and potentially accommodate this in the future. Thank you. Things we may iterate in the future. Staggering ranked and cryo queues more so they overlap less. Okay. Looking at changing the days we do either cryo or ranked. Okay. Changing the ante values. Looking at any other conditions, solo experience, crew feel experience, and iterating on it. Marathon is an evolving game, and part of evolving is seeing how this initial launch plays out and adjusting as we go. Okay, that's fair. They at least they just acknowledged my biggest complaint. That makes me feel better. And I guess we'll just try this out and just see how it goes, I guess. I mean, I played Destiny for years and that game evolved so much for the better and worse, but it has evolved for the better so much. And this is just the beginning of Marathon, so I do feel like it's going to get a lot better. FYI, here's a current schedule for Cryo or Ranked. Cryo opens on Friday. Ranked opens on Saturday. Closes on Tuesday. Cryo closes on Monday. Okay, so Cryo's Friday night. Ranked is Saturday night for me. Okay, that's good to know. And then some random bullshit. But that's pretty much it. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and log on and join my friends here. But that's pretty much the explanation for Ranked and Cryo Archive. I'm really looking forward to it. Tonight I'm just going to be doing some looting and preparing for it for the weekend. So let's see how that goes.